Okay, good morning and welcome to our Solving Systems Without Graphing quiz review. Okay, so we are going to start right in with number 1 here today. And so the first section we're going to look at is if you're given an ordered pair, like -1, 2, and you're asked whether it is or is not a solution, what you will do is realize that this is your x-coordinate, -1, and 2 is your y-coordinate. So you're going to substitute them both into your system and see if it works. So in the first one, we have 8x. So we're going to say 8 times -1 plus 6. And instead of y now, we're going to say times 2 equal 4. And we're going to see if that works. So if you remember order of operations now, we have to do our multiplication first. So 8 times -1 is -8. And 6 times 2 is 12. Bring down our plus sign and equal 4. Okay, so now we can add -8 plus 12 is 4. And so we get the same thing on both sides. So it works. It's a yes for the first one. Now, we have to make sure that it works in the second one in order for it to be a yes. So we're going to do the second one as well. So we'll start with our -16. So -16, x would be -1, so we're going to say times -1, plus 7 times our y value of 2 equal 30. So now we have to check that out and see if it works. So again, we want to multiply first. A negative times a negative gives us a positive 16 here, and then 7 times 2 is a positive 14. Bring down our plus sign, our equals, and our 30. Okay, and so add 16 and 14, and it does in fact give us 30. And so we get the same thing on both sides again. So it works for both. And so is -1 a solution to the system? The answer is yes, it is a solution. -1 is a solution. Now, if either of them did not work, for example, let's say we had done one of these and we had gotten 2 different numbers, then the answer is no, that it would not be a solution. So I'm going to leave number 2 for you to try on your own, and you can check back with me later if you need to know the answer there. All right, let's move on to the second section, which is substitution for the quiz. Okay, so if it says to solve a system by substitution, that's the key word here, what we want to do is take a look at our system and start with either the x equal or the y equal equation. So in the number 3, we have x equal 5. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take that 5 and we're going to substitute it in for the x here. Now remember, it might help you to know that there's a 1 in front of this x and a 1 in front of this y before you rewrite it. So what we really have here is 1, not x, times 5 plus 1y equal 12. And now you take a look at that and go, okay, I have to multiply first. So 1 times 5 is in fact 5. And then bring down my plus 1y equal 12. And now you want to solve the equation for y. So we're going to undo our 5 first. So we're going to subtract 5 because that's positive. And so now I'm going to bring down 1y equal 12 minus 5 is 7. And then I'm going to divide out that 1, and I'm going to see that y equals 7. So in my answer now, my ordered pair is x comma y. So y equals 7 would be my second part of my answer. Okay, now how do you go back and get the first? My advice to you, now you can use either equation, but my advice to you is to go back to the original equation that you started with. So I'm going to go back to that x equal 5 equation and see if there's anything I have to do. And so in this case, it literally tells you x equal 5. There's nothing else to do there. So the answer is 5 for x, and this is the final answer to our system. It crosses at 5, 7. Okay, so that's the first kind. The second kind, under number 4, what happens now? 2 things are different here. Number 1, we have y equals, not x equal, and also it does not just say y equal 2, it says y equal 2x. So we start a very similar way. We're going to start by taking that 2x, and in this time we're going to substitute it for y because that's what it says here. Okay? And so we're going to rewrite that equation as negative 2x plus 3. And now we're not going to write y. We're going to say times 2x equal negative 20. Okay, so in this case, we are going to still do our multiplication first, just like we did up here, only we got to times 3 by 2x. So that's going to give me 6x. You have to remember to put that x on there. Bring down the plus sign, the negative 2x, the equals, and the negative 20. Okay, so now you take a look, you still have 2 x's in here. So your choice is to either cancel one out or add like terms. Since they're both on the same side of the equal sign, we're going to add like terms. So negative 2x plus positive 6x gives us positive 4x equal negative 20. Okay, and so now what I want to do is divide out that 4, and I get x equal negative 5. All right, so on my ordered pair for my final answer, this is the first coordinate. So we know x is negative 5. We have to figure out y. So just like we did on the equation above, what we want to do is go back to the one we started with. So we started with the y equals 2x. Well, in this case, it doesn't just say y equal 2, so we have to put our answer, our negative 5, back in. Y equal 2 times negative 5 is what we do. And so 2 times negative 5, y equal negative 10 is what we get, and that is our second answer here. Okay? So here's our final answer to this one, negative 5, negative 10. Okay, the last one on the front, and then I will make a separate video for the back so that it doesn't get too long. So again, we're still in the substitution section. So even though our equations are gradually getting longer, we're still wanting to look for the one that says either x equals or y equals. In this case, it's the first one says y equals, see? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the whole equation and we're going to substitute it in for y here. And since it's a whole equation, we must use parentheses. So let me show you. Negative 2x minus 2, and now instead of y, I'm going to do parentheses 4x minus 20, end parenthesis, equal 10. And that's how I'm going to rewrite it. Now, you have to remember what we do to get rid of parentheses, and that is distribute or multiply. So we're going to multiply negative 2 times 4x and get negative 8x. Then we're going to multiply negative 2 times negative 20 and get positive 40. Then we're going to bring down negative 2x, and we're going to bring down equal and 10. And we got to look at what we have. So again, we have 2 different x values here, so we either need to cancel them or we need to add like terms. Again, they're on the same side, so we want to add like terms. So negative 2x minus 8 more x is going to give us negative 10x. Plus 40, bring that down, equal 10. And now you have your 2-step equation. So we're going to solve for x by subtracting 40 and subtract 40 here. So bring down negative 10x, and 10 minus 40 gives us negative 30. And then we're going to divide out this negative 10. And we see that x equal, remember, negative divided by negative gives us a positive 3. And so we get our first part of our ordered pair. So that's our x value is 3. Now, to find the y value, we still go back to the original equation. So the original one we had was this top one. So we're going to rewrite that using my 3 for x. So y equal 4, not x now, times our value of 3 that we got, minus 20. Well, 4 times 3 is 12 minus 20. So y equal 12 minus 20 gives us negative 8. And that is the second part of our answer. And we finally now have our ordered pair where it crosses, and that would be 3, negative 8. This would probably be on this quiz our most challenging problem because it takes the most steps. Okay, so that's the front side. Again, if you have questions, please email me. Here's a snapshot of the whole front that we've done together here. If you need to pause the video, aside from number 2. Again, I'll do a second video and post that as well for the back side. Good luck.